Sup, guys? My name is Ryu for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. Welcome to Theorio, your Monday morning discussion video released in the morning when I first have that first cup of coffee. Because when you're my age, you need fucking coffee in your blood. So anyways, we got a few topics, very few, just a few things I wanted to talk about that I didn't feel were so important to really talk about. But Gale Dogra is useful now. Darlords coming into the TCG, and when impact the possibility if they'll be at full support, which full power, which I think will happen, and getting burned out by building, making decks. I'm going to talk about all these different things. So before we get started, again, because I've been saying it since last night, if there's something you guys want me to release from the Comic-Con New York City footage on here that's not just Yu-Gi-Oh! Related, and you guys are cool with it, I'll do it. Otherwise, it's only going on the Council Network. Let you guys be heard, that's all I'm saying. I may release the stuff at the Konami booth, and maybe I'll ask one of the workers if they're not going to tell me. Anyway, let's get this video underway. Welcome to Theory O, because it's your morning O video, like Booty-O's. Anyway, guys, let's talk about Gale Dogra and why you're seeing a slight price increase or just interest in the card. So basically the concept behind it is to go like Super Turbo Blue Eyes Chaos Max and to end the opponent as quick as possible. Things like Book of Eclipse and Swords of Concealing Light, plus the, Gale Dogra sending the Herald of Arclight to the graveyard is you do it twice. That's 6,000 that you're giving up, but you get the Chaos Max pieces that you need, and as long as you have pretty much the material to summon it, then there you go. For 6,000 light points, very simple, you can have yourself, step on right on down to the Price is Right. You can have yourself a Blue Eyes Chaos Max OTK, but I'll tell you why I don't like these things. Whenever a deck is a turbo-based deck, it really kind of just is, get to the freaking point, let's get there, jump there, and win. And the problem is, it's a glass cannon, and I know people hate that terminology when people, when us YouTubers say it in YouTube videos, but the analogy of the whole thing applies here. It is basically a giant cannon of power that is made of glass, and if you tap it, it will break. That's basic concept. That's why we always say it, because it does make sense. It's a glass cannon. Now, I'm not calling it bad, I just think the standard Blue Eyes Chaos Max that plays a little slower, a little safer, or if you want to go the Pot of Desire route. But hey, I'm not going to knock it the Gale Dogra route. It's super much, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than spending $80 a piece on, Pot of Desires. I'm not going to deny that shit, number one. Number two, I think the riskiest thing of it, but I can understand why people are latching onto it right now, is that Effect Filler exists. But most people aren't playing Effect Villa or Breakthrough Skill Fiendish Chain currently during this format, because all the self-protecting targeting stuff, all that jiffy-jabby kind of whatnot. The next thing I want to talk about is just getting burned out about making decks constantly. And I think a lot of that has to do is when one deck gets super hyped, or everyone's fixated on something that's about to come out and ruin the complete format. Whether it be ABC or Tree Toad Dark Law, that deck, just anything in general. And I said this in last night's video, I'm not proud of saying that I hate a deck, but I do. I don't like Cypherins because they just make it that you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! And it burns you to the point that you don't want to basically build Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks anymore. And no, that's not the reason I wasn't releasing deck profiles. It was just time restraints because my wife's been under the weather, and obviously, I just haven't had as much time to commit to making deck profiles. But don't worry, I have like 9, 10 of them lined up at any given time, so, it's just what I do. But I gotta be completely blunt here when I say it. It just, you get really burned out from having the same 10 freaking decks on YGO Pro constantly. I mean, right now it's just been Blue Eyes, Blue Eyes, Blue Eyes, Blue Eyes, Blue Eyes. And then what was the other one? ABC, 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 Darlords, and Tree Toad. And when you constantly see those decks over and over and over and over and over again, and you're constantly trying to make, solid replays or get solid replays, it just kind of, you lay on the floor and you're just like, fuck this game. Why am I dedicating myself to it? And it drives you insane. But the reason I do is because you guys love it. That's my reason, to be completely fair. But if I was to tell someone who is at my locals, for example, and we're saying I'm just burned out from the game because I'm tired of going on YGO Pro and seeing the same deck over and over again, my advice is simple. Take a break from YGO Pro for at least 2 days. Just get the hell away from it. Or just, put in the thing, know whatever deck, and just get that breath of fresh air. Even if it's going against a 60 card deck, it's a fresh breath of environment. Trust me, you'll feel 10 times better. I know that sounds like so stupid and retarded of a way to approach it, but hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you just need that fresh breath of air. You need to open that window and breathe it all in. That freaking, it's just what you have to do. The last thing I want to talk about, and we don't have confirmation, but they're mentioned to get support, and it comes out November the 18th, is the Destiny Soldiers Booster Pack, which is our TCG equivalent of the OCG set. And I think it's pretty damn safe to say, because this set is, I believe, 60 cards in TCG, and it's 45 in the OCG. Anything that's in the OCG pack will carry over. The main question is going to be what 15 cards are included that they're putting in. And that's pretty much going to come down to, hey, is there anything that Darlords have in a V-Jump form or whatnot and could use to come on in? This would be the perfect time to get those slots in. They have 15 slots to play around with. And I will say this much. I know I'm going to sound like I'm praising them. Konami is one thing. They are a business. And it would be really, really dumb to not include them. And this is why I've been lately talking about Darlords being meta. Not include them inside of a set that people are going to want to buy it because it has Darlords, which if you pay attention to OCG meta, you're going to want to play them to some degree. So I think what's going to happen, this is where I'm taking it, is I think what we're probably going to end up seeing at the end of November is a completely new meta, which is going to involve Tree-Toad deck, because you could call that under 20 different variants, Darlords, Blue Eyes, and then finally, if I had to put one more there, we're talking Darlords, Blue Eyes. Oh, of course, ABC, because what would it be without including ABC? Honestly, I think those are going to be our big four. And I know Konami was hyping up Blue Eyes and Deities, ABC, and Darlords. We're going to have 3 of those. But we're not going to have Deities, obviously, to next year. So that's kind of a situation that we've gone over a few times. And I won't repeat it again. But the point is, I think Tree-Toad's going to fill that slot there. And post-November format is just going to suck. There's no ways around it. Darlords are not really the headache deck, I guess if I want to phrase it. You can have 2 headache decks that are going to be a pain in the ass. Tree-Toad and ABC. How you counter both of those is going to be how you survive the format. I think those are going to be the more 2-defined decks, because if you look at Blue Eyes, stay with me here, I'm not insulting the deck because you guys know I main that shit. I honestly don't see them being nearly as powerful as something like ABC or even the Tree-Toad deck. Those turn 1 plays can cripple your entire game, your entire setup. You could say, oh, Blue Eyes can drop Alternative Dragon, Ryu. It's a 3,000 body, but then ABC could banish it out, and there's really no other way to special summon it out of the deck to jump over that Buster Dragon. That's pretty much the point I'm trying to drive home, is I'm not insulting the deck, but if it wasn't for Gospel Revival, we'd be dead in the fucking water when it comes to even trying to be a meta deck currently. And I hate to sound that way, but it is what it is. And that's also goes back to why I get that, why I talked about feeling burned out, because sometimes you need to take a break from it. But geez, my brain cells are all over the place right now with this discussion. To end off this video, let me just say this much on the 3 topics. Gale Dogra is pretty cool tech, I'm not gonna lie. Getting burned out by, by just building decks. It's something that happens to the best of us in anything we do. Don't take me saying it as me saying I'm never going to do another deck profile again. I'm just basically spacing out decks, and it's good for me. Then I come off more excited to give you the next one, and it's just like a breath of fresh air. And finally, the format after this is going to just like the middle format change with Darlords and everything. I'm telling you, Darlords are going to be in those Destiny Soldiers pack. I guarantee it. I fucking guarantee it. They're going to be in there. Whatever's in the OCG pack, which means we could be looking at a Lord of Darkness reprint, which would be pretty nice. But it is what it is. I'm Ryu for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. I'll see you later tonight for coffee time. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more if you're brand new. And I'll see you guys later.